The soul of man is a shadowed abyss, a cavern where light flickers only to reveal the depths of its own darkness. I have walked through this world, my heart heavy with the weight of questions no tongue can fully utter. What is man, if not a creature torn between the dirt and the divine? He lies to himself day after day, weaving a shroud of illusions so dense he forgets the taste of truth. And yet, in that lie, there is a strange comfort, a cradle for the weak, a prison for the brave. To love is to suffer. I learned this not from books, but from the silent weeping of my own spirit. To see another as God intended them is to bear their pain as your own, to feel the lash of their sins against your flesh. Yet in that suffering, there is a healing, a quiet mending of the soul that comes only when we stand unguarded before another. The laughter of children, pure and untainted, washes over us like a balm, reminding us of what we've lost and what we might yet reclaim. Beauty will save the world, I once said, and I hold to it still. Not the shallow beauty of painted faces or gilded halls, but the terrible, mysterious beauty that dwells in the heart of man, a battlefield where God and the devil wrestle without end. It is a beauty born of pain, of sacrifice, of the courage to look into the abyss and not turn away. The world drowns in ugliness because we refuse to see this truth, because we chase happiness in the fleeting and ignore the eternal. If there is no God, everything is permitted. These words haunt me, echoing through the corridors of my mind like a wind that carries both freedom and ruin. Without that anchor, man becomes a beast, not the noble beast of the wild, but a cunning, artful monster, inventing cruelties no animal could dream. And yet, I wonder, is it God we seek, or merely the idea of Him, a tether to keep us from drifting into chaos? I have returned His ticket, not out of spite, but out of a longing to understand the cost of my own soul. Pain is the forge of consciousness. The dull-minded drift through life unscarred, but those with deep hearts and restless intellects bear wounds that never heal. I am not afraid of suffering. I dread only that I might prove unworthy of it. For in every tear, in every sleepless night, there is a question. Why? And in that question, a spark of something greater, a glimpse of meaning that lifts us above the mire. Hope is a fragile thing, easily crushed beneath the weight of despair. To live without it is to cease to live, to become a shadow pacing a cell whose walls we cannot see. I have known men who locked themselves in such prisons, not with iron bars, but with the lies they told their own hearts. The best chains are the ones we forge ourselves, invisible yet unbreakable. And yet compassion, this quiet law of our existence, can slip through those bars, a whisper that reminds us we are not alone. Man loves his troubles more than his joys. He counts them, polishes them like dark jewels, and wears them as a crown. But happiness, that he lets slip through his fingers, unnoticed, unclaimed. Perhaps it is because joy demands surrender, a letting go of the self that we cling to so fiercely. I have seen it in the eyes of the condemned, in the trembling hands of the lost. Happiness is not in the having, but in the striving, in the endless reach for something just beyond our grasp. The heart of man is a mystery, a riddle that defies unraveling. Spend your life chasing its threads, and you will not have wasted a moment. For in that pursuit lies the truth of who we are, not the masks we wear, nor the words we speak, but the silent currents that pull us toward light or shadow. I have loved humanity, yet hated men. I have wept for the world, yet turned from my neighbor. This is the paradox of our nature, the wound that makes us human. Love in dreams is soft and sweet, a fleeting vision of paradise. But love in action, love that dares to touch the world, is harsh, dreadful, a fire that burns as it warms. It demands everything: your pride, your safety, your illusions. I have loved, and it has broken me. I have loved, and it has made me whole. There is no other way, no gentler path. To love is to stand naked before the storm and call it home. The world says, satisfy your needs, chase your desires, drink deep of freedom. But this is a drunkenness that leaves us hollow. True freedom is not in the taking, but in the choosing. Choosing even when the cost is ruin, even when the path leads nowhere. I have seen men grasp for power, only to find it slips like sand through their hands. Power belongs to those who dare to bend, to kneel, to take it not with force, but with will. Beauty and suffering walk hand in hand, inseparable as shadow and light. The awful thing is not the pain, but the mystery. Why must it be so? God and the devil fight their endless war, and we are the ground they tread upon. I have felt both within me, the pull to destroy, the ache to create. And in that struggle, I have glimpsed something sublime, a truth that cannot be spoken, only lived. I fear not death, but the half-life of cowardice, the refusal to face what must be faced. Man grows used to everything, to shame, to cruelty, to the slow rot of his own soul. He builds systems, spins theories, twists the truth to fit his comfort. But the realist, the one who dares to see, finds no fear in the result, only in the turning away. Faith is not born of miracles. Miracles are born of faith. Life is paradise, and we are blind to it. We stumble through, counting our miseries, deaf to the tender joy that waits in the stillness. Old grief fades, not into nothing, but into something gentle, something alive. I have known despair so deep it swallowed the stars, yet from it came a quiet strength, a whisper that said, endure. Not for reward, not for glory, but because the act itself is enough. The questions remain: how to live without God, how to bear the weight of freedom. I have no answers, only this: beauty is our lifeline, the thread that pulls us through. Without it, we perish, not in body, but in spirit. Science fades, bread crumbles, but beauty endures. See with your heart, love with your hands, and the world, broken as it is, will hold you still. And so I stand, a man adrift in a sea of shadows, seeking a shore I may never find. Yet in this seeking, I am alive, torn, yes, but unbroken. The abyss calls, but I answer with my breath, my will, my fragile light. This is enough.